Hi, it's Juliet here, and I'm in one of my favourite places, which is the West Hay Nature Reserve. I'm back in England after all my travels in Israel and Jordan, and I'm wrapped up in my very extra warm, thick Bedouin coat that I bought when I was in Jordan, because when I got back I was feeling really poorly. Whilst away, I'd managed to catch a very bad cough, cold, and a bit of a chest infection. So when I got back, I just crashed and took all the time I could to recover. So it's amazing how much getting back to juicing and healthy food and lots of rest, how great that is for health, because now I'm feeling a bit stronger again and ready, a little bit of a cough still, ready to tackle life. So I've come out to the nature reserve, trying to pace myself a little bit. So just behind me, I don't know if you can see, is a lake. Well, it's not really a lake, it's all the water that settles here on the levels. It's absolutely full of swans. It's so beautiful. It's completely full of swans, and they're all really relaxed, and they've got their tails in the air and their heads down in the water looking for food. I don't know if you can see. It's a bit hard to see, but there's lots of them, and it's so wonderful to watch them. And I just want to highlight again the importance of working with trauma, working with stress, and particularly working with the stress and the intensity of what we're experiencing at this moment on the planet. And it's just like there's so much to process the whole time. There's such amount of difficulty and intensity, either within our own life or within the lives of those around us, our families, our friends. And what's coming in all the time, if you're watching television, I can imagine it's really hard, because the news is pumping out really strongly biased and stressful images and reporting. And on Facebook, if you go onto Facebook, which you must do because you're watching me, on Facebook we've got lots of people having really intense opinions, and we've got these issues around false news, what's true, what's not true. We've got the issues around what's happening on the planet with the climate change. There's so many really deeply touching and painful issues that we have to work with all the time, that we have to process and come to terms with. And the very pace of life, it's just like driving us and pushing us, the financial pressures, how to make enough money to pay for everything. Hi Sarah Jane. It's just really hard to keep up with life, and no one seems to have time for anyone. Families don't seem to have time to spend together, and friends to connect with each other. It's just this like driving intensity. So how can we cope with that? Because it's guaranteed to make us ill if we're continually being driven in this way. And we actually need to have time and space in order to be able to digest all these experiences, to make sense of them, and to actually be in touch with what's happening with ourselves. Because when we're not in touch with it, then we've got no way of processing how we've been impacted by all these things that are coming up, each one of which in itself is some people just coming up. They're probably going to think I'm a bit mad, or maybe they'll think I'm talking to somebody on the phone. I'm still a bit self-conscious about standing around doing videos. So yeah, such intensity that we have to process, we have to make sense of. And we are really deeply affected, even if we try to switch off and disconnect, dissociate, or feel like we're not touched by this. Because we're all interconnected, that we are actually really deeply touched. We've got this animal primitive nervous system that gets triggered very, very easily by what happens to other people around us. And when we see people suffering, even if they're people on the other side of the world, then we get triggered, even if we don't feel like we're being triggered, because we can just dissociate and disconnect from it. but we are triggered nonetheless, which has an impact in our nervous system. And we need to be able to just have some stillness in the day, just create a time to have some stillness, because otherwise our nervous system is just getting completely overloaded with all this information, and we lose our capacity. What leads to people attacking each other leads to violence. So if we want to have less violence and a more peaceful planet, then the first step is always with ourselves, just to take time and process what's happening, how we've been affected by what's happened in the day. What are the situations that we found difficult in the day? And those situations that we find difficult, they're clues to us as to those parts of ourselves that we need to heal. Those places where we've also got where we've got trauma, when we're really, really deeply touched and affected by something that's been challenging. So the more we have time to process this, the better, and the more we can actually take time out to relax, like my coming out today to this lovely nature reserve, which I try to do a few times a week, coming out and just breathing in the stillness. So it's really important. And so the next time you find yourself having a strong reaction to something, then maybe just take some time and decide, okay, I'm going to go away with this, and rather than having a reaction, just sit with it and notice what's happening in me and why I'm triggered. So that's what I've got to share today, and I've been very heartened by the fact that Avaz, the organisation for campaigning around the world, of which I put a post. Hi Therese, hi, it's lovely to see you here. Avaz, the international group of people, there's over 40 million members. I'm a member. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's on my profile page. They're really addressing this issue with the false news and people trolling each other and the aggression. And they've actually made a video which I've posted, which is telling people or asking people to participate in taking time for themselves and to notice what they're getting triggered by, and to notice when they lose connection with themselves and each other and aren't acting kindly, and supporting people to act kindly with each other. So if we can do that, that's wonderful. So what's heartening to me is the fact that not only Avaz, but many people now are beginning to share the same information about our need to heal trauma and our need to be able to understand when we're getting triggered and how we can manage our triggers, how we can regulate our nervous system. So I run a training on healing skills, trauma skills, and that training is to help people help other people. So if you're in a position of being a carer, then by managing your own nervous system, you can work much more effectively and confidently with other people. And I've got a one-day workshop coming up soon, of which I've made a post. Excuse me, I've still got a tickly cough. And my training starts soon as well. So lots of people have found that very helpful. And I'm very committed to, alongside all the other people on the planet that are now becoming aware of how we need to manage our nervous system, I'm committed to doing that and helping others as well. So I'm going to go on with my walk. So just take this moment. Perhaps we can just take a moment and be together and share together here. And just taking time to feel inside ourselves, just taking a breath. And in that space of taking a breath, just noticing how you're feeling in this moment. What are you aware of in your body? What is it that you're churned up about? Or maybe you're not, maybe you're peaceful. Just noticing if you're peaceful in this moment. So just allowing yourself in this moment to drop down into yourself, being aware of your feet on the ground and being aware of where you're comfortable in your body. And just allowing your awareness to expand to the whole of your body. And just noticing that as you take these breaths, how your nervous system starts to calm down. As you start settling into a parasympathetic mode of being. Parasympathetic branch of your nervous system gets activated when we just take time to breathe and slow down, which is way more restful. So this is how we begin to lower our stress levels. And as we do this, then our cortisol levels drop. Our immune system comes back online so that we're stronger. So thank you so much for taking this time to share a moment with me. It's lovely that you've turned up and you're watching. It's so important to feel connected to people, to each other. So hope to speak with you soon, and be well, enjoy your day, do something lovely for yourself. I'm going to go on walking. Okay, lots of love from me. Bye for now. Bye.